Damn, I wasn't even recording, but I had picked out the jar and everything, and this is what I got. Your children, your ancestors. Your children, your ancestors. And then they doing construction over here, so I'm gonna move. So what made me think about that? About our children being our ancestors. Obviously, this video is gonna be for people who have children. If you don't have children, like if you've never given birth, you might not can relate to this thought I had. That doesn't mean you don't have ancestors. Obviously, you're here. So, I know some people. I just watch a lot of YouTube and I observe a lot of people kind of get offended on things, but everything's not gonna be for you. What made me think of that is because, okay, all of my children, like even including myself, like I definitely feel like I'm an old soul. You know, things are very familiar to me. Living life does not feel new to me. So I would say, in a sense, I'm an ancestor of my parents. Now, whether they thought that or not, that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my, how I have come to that conclusion about our children being our ancestors. Because once we live a physical life, however many lifetimes we need to in this physical, and we transition in and out. We call that birth and death, death and birth. However many life cycles we I guess sign up for, that we need to go through in order to ascend through frequency, through a light beam, through sound, through hertz, out of the physical body. We do that. Okay, so imagine just like if you have like a certain assignment, and you have like a like imagine like you're in a go this way, because I really want to pay attention. I'm gonna go to Target. I'll go over to Home Depot. They say come here at like 5 o'clock in the morning, get you a good Mexican. Yeah. It says on his way to work, goddamn. Or Circle K, they be there too early in the morning. When I go there sometimes in the morning with Zaire, the men be in there making their coffee and shit, getting their snacks, shit. Working men. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about our children, our ancestors. So I hope y'all can hear me too, because it's a good one. So just imagine, like, I'm going to put it in a physical level. So, like, you know how you have, what can I use for my analogy? I'll use Target. So you have targets at a location, okay? Then you have that specific location. Then you have a district. So within that district, you may have multiple locations. And then you have like your local manager, then you have your district manager, and then you have a region. You have your regional manager. Okay. And everyone has their assignment, either locally, district, or regionally. I was gonna say districtly, but I don't think that's a word. But y'all get my gist. So I'm just making that analogy for the sake of like how I'm thinking this works. Just bear with me. I'm getting to it. I'm thinking as I talk, because these are thoughts I've had, and I wrote my thoughts down. I have thought about them previously, but as I'm making the videos, it's not going to be verbatim how I previously thought about it, because there's a possibility I was probably high or not, but I don't remember the exact conversation I had when I initially had the thought, so this is me like re-going over. But I still do remember why I had that thought. Okay, so our children are our ancestors. And so Earth is like local. Okay, Earth is like local. And then you have our galaxy would be like the district. And then our region would be the part of space in which we exist, and there's other galaxies. But we're assigned to this one. And so until we complete our goals or purposes or contracts within locally, within that district, within this region, we would be so-called not trapped, but our energy would continue to be recycled, okay? Because it doesn't die. It constantly keeps moving. And this concept has to also agree with the fact that when we do transition, our soul, our spirit energy. So I would think the ultimate goal is to reconnect with the soul. Okay, but the soul is, I could be wrong or I could be right. This is just a thought. If the soul is not within our region, let's say it's in a soul region, you know, like a region that we're not in, but we're still connected to, because we're still able to we're still guided, we're still receiving messages from our soul, giving directions to the spirit, which then communes and works with the flesh. Okay, stay with me. The ultimate goal in life is to return to your soul. And that actually has no physical shape at all. It's like these orbs, like just like a big ball of like light that's like unexplainable. Your spirit takes form within, once it enters here. This is my spirit in a form. But then I feel like the spirit body still has some form. Might not have a private part like a penis or a vagina, might not have boobs, but it still have some form because it's like an energy. So it'll be a balance of like, hopefully a balance of like masculine and feminine energy. And then when it takes form, it takes form, if it takes form into a masculine or a male man, then now you're experiencing a physical life as a man. And then if it takes form as a woman, now you're experiencing the spirit experiencing a physical life as a woman. I'm not getting into all that other shit that's going on today, okay? I'm not going there. We're not doing that right now. Stay with me. So as we're like procreating, co-creating, having children, it's like a lottery or a pool of spirits waiting to take form or retake form, because they still have obligations to fulfill physically until their spirits that are not ready to go to the next phase of life, or the next experience that gets them closer to their soul. Because if we live infinitely, I don't think it happens real quick. I think it's like so many levels and degrees, and then you return to like your soul space, and that whole experience just becomes something else. I'm not even like ready for that. That's like, yeah. But as we are in these spiritual forms, coming into these, having these physical experiences, there's like a pool, like a not a swimming pool, but a pool of spirits waiting to return back to a physical, to complete another life cycle, to get closer to graduating. So it's not like you're pulling random energy. It's very sophisticated. It's very organized. It's very planned. Because everyone doesn't have children. And I think that's a part of it too. And then there's people who do. Like, we all have our roles and jobs. And then there's people who do. And we are responsible for bringing these energies back into the world so that they can complete their contracts, as well as us completing ours. So in order to bring an energy back in, it had to have already existed and exited. And that's why, like, our children come through us, and we may already feel like a connection between them, or we may already feel like we know them from another lifetime, but the roles may have been different. Like, for example, Tay, my oldest daughter, even though I feel like she has a young spirit, very young spirit, even I would say a young soul, there's still a familiarity with me and her, just based on conversations. When she was a little girl, like a toddler, 3, 4, and 5, she was like so smart and so funny. And I remember one day, because she would also act like an old lady, and I thought maybe she was mimicking someone, but no, she was really just being her. So I asked her one day, I said, "Who are you?" Now, I'm not saying what most children would say. I don't know what most children would say. I ain't been around most children. But what she said to me struck me as odd. She said, I'm never going to tell you. You'll have to figure it out. Okay? All right.